Hey guys, we're here at Toytec in Denver, one of the area's premier outfitters for your Toyota, and they have kindly agreed to partner with us on Baby Yota. That's right, they're going to give us some of their parts, some of their lift, so that we can make this much more off-road worthy. And today we're going to be doing a pre-inspection to figure out just exactly what we bought and what needs to be fixed and what needs to be lifted. So stay tuned for that, because that is coming up right now. Obviously, this is not a new Toyota Tacoma.
No.
It's a 2002. Do you guys do a lot of older Tacomas?
We do. We actually have quite a few of these come through here. These are definitely the unicorns. Everybody wants that nice short regular cab, and then the long bed, pretty practical.
We're missing the one thing though, the manual transmission. We've got the automatic.
Yeah, I did notice that when I hopped in there. Yeah, it was automatic, but still in really good shape, and I mean, it's a great transmission, so you won't be upset at all.
So what are we going to do today? What are you going to be doing to it?
So today we're just going to start off with the multi-point inspection. So it's about a 70-point inspection. So we're pretty much going to go through everything, nuts and bolts.
Now, in case you're wondering, this is our 2002 Toyota Tacoma. It's got the 2.7 liter 4-cylinder under the hood, and this entire project is being done for charity. That's right. We're going to take this Toyota, we're going to make it much more off-road worthy with the help of Toytec, and then we're going to auction it off at TFL bids, and all the money is going to go to charity, so that you guys out there are part of this project, and you guys out there can actually own this Toyota once it's completely built.
So right now what you're checking is the ball joints, right? To see if it's...
Well, right now, so usually ball joints, usually you'll check on the ground. You want the suspension loaded for that, so you'll actually put a jack underneath the control arm, just to relieve the pressure. And then you put a pry bar underneath the tire. That's how you check the lowers. But right now, if you do left to right, that's usually your tire rod ends and power steering rack. Unfortunately, these are notorious for having play in the power steering racks over time. These are generally all older vehicles. There's a bushing on the driver's side of the rack that wears out and becomes an oval instead of a circle. So you actually get vertical play. So instead of your power steering rack moving left to right, it actually moves up and down, so you have like a dead spot in your steering wheel. So that's what I'm checking for here. And then if you were doing up and down, this will check for your upper ball joint, and then your wheel bearing as well is a good way. Wheel bearing, you can also do it diagonally as well. We do have some either power steering rack or tire rod end play in there, so I'll have to check that out further.
As you know, a lot of these first-gen Toyotas had really severe, shall we say, catastrophic frame issues, where the entire frame would basically rust to the extent that if you put them on a lift, they would break. So the question is, do we get a good one?
The big spots that are usually damaged are actually up here by your transmission mount and all good stuff. This is where we get a lot of rot in here, and this is super clean. The lines are nice and crisp on the inside of the frame. There's no delamination. That's like the biggest thing to kind of tell you that the frame is original or bad. And then the other biggest part is back here. Once you get to the sheet channel, in this area, there's usually quite a bit of rot as well, but there's absolutely none of that anywhere throughout this frame. So very impressive. So either it's the original and it's in superb condition, or it has a frame recall, which I'd be more likely to believe because it is so clean.
So how common was it? I mean, was it almost every one of these that suffered from rust?
Yeah, truly, in the rusty areas, it definitely was almost every single one. The water getting inside the frame, freezing and unfreezing, freezing and unfreezing, would kind of worm its way into the frame and delaminate. So it did affect pretty much all of them, unless it was garaged.
It would separate layers of the frame.
Correct.
For basically water and everything to get in there.
Yeah, so it'll just worm its way in there, kind of like how water over time or a tree will split a rock as the roots kind of grow through it. So
now, we bought Baby Yota for just over $7,700. The truck has a lot of miles, 180,000, which, for most trucks would be middle-aged or older, but with the Toyota Tacoma, that's just spring chicken time. Obviously, one of the issues that this generation of Tacoma had was the frame, right? They rusted out. And you think that this one actually had the frame redone?
Yeah, it looks like it. Everything's nice and crisp. Your C-channel in the back is in really good shape. So I would say most likely you got the big sticker on the side of the frame over here. So
the recall was done.
I would assume so, yeah.
How much do you think that cost Toyota?
A lot. At least 80 hours of labor.
Yeah, so we're looking at thousands, if not tens of thousands.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So what they would do is, Mike was telling me, is that they would actually basically unbolt everything from the frame, and then you end up with like a rolling chassis, and then you lift the body off the frame, and then slide the new frame in and drop the body back onto it.
Correct. Yeah, just make a rolling chassis out of both assemblies there, and
you could do that in 80 hours.
Well, you could usually do it in about 2 days if you're getting good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they just paid the 80 hours. They got smart, and then they only did 60 hours for the first gen Tundra. So they did a little bit less. So things are crackling and moving. So hopefully we have some success here.
That's good. So we may have a good lower A-arm, huh?
Potentially.
Potentially. Hopefully. That's surprising, considering it's got 180,000 miles on it.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and free. We're not binding on the bushing or anything. Nice and crunchy.
That's what it's supposed to be?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, it goes all the way around, so that's good. We'll double check the bushings to make sure the bushing is actually not torn, but
yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah. So we'll double check.
You know what was surprising? Like a lot of these, like covers, right? These little, a lot of those are all
CV boots.
The CV boots are usually gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like somebody like actually took care of this thing somehow.
Yeah, it looks in really good shape. Yeah, both CV axles, both inner and outer on both sides, are in great shape. So
yeah, because those are always,
these are the first things to go.
Yeah. So
pretty expensive to replace. All the good stuff, especially get like a good quality one. Unfortunately, so a lot of people kind of skip over it. Well, you guys are looking out. So it definitely had the frame replaced at one point because they would have taken these out and done stuff with it. So, and that's how you adjust your camera and caster. You can see the tire moving.
Yeah.
Over here.
And that's why you put the line on there, so when you bring it back to where it was,
that way you guys can leave here and it drives straight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right, well, that's one less part we have to replace.
Yeah. So far. 1 out of 2.
Okay.
However.
Uh-oh. This guy's not so good.
So, if you can see that, it kind of springs right back.
Yeah.
So that means that the bolt is actually seized, or the sleeve is seized to the rubber.
Yeah.
So it's just like a rubber band, unfortunately. So this is frozen.
So are you going to replace just one, or would you replace both of them?
Up to the customer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But usually we try to replace them in a pair.
I would say replace both, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
because usually,
exactly.
bushings are bad at that point.
So
and might as well stay on top of it, and that way you can put some hydrophobic grease in there and make sure it lasts for a long time.
Because if that one is good, this one's bad. Chances are this one's gonna go bad. Yeah,
soon.
Exactly.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of alignment shops that'll just kind of tow and go your vehicle.
Yeah.
And they actually don't even do like a true alignment. They won't even touch these. They just assume they're frozen, and then you just have a straight steering wheel, but it doesn't drive very nice. So that's the biggest problem that we actually have with customers that come in here. They were never told that these were frozen or not. But it does look like this back one is free, so that's good. So we got 3 out of 4 move, which is better than some. We've actually had a couple 2017s come in here with frozen bolts.
Wow.
But yeah, that looks really good underneath there, so I'm pretty impressed. I'd buy it if it was.
If it was yours, yeah, you would have bought it good. All right, that's good.
Frame's in great place.
Yeah,
shape.
The frame was really worrying me.
Yeah, that's half the battle. Yeah, usually we're at Toyota when we do the frame inspections, you wouldn't even get up to this lift height. You'd put it on there, and then the truck would just break in half.
Whoa!
And it was pretty amazing.
Looks like somebody went and replaced our frame, and thank you if that was you who had this truck before us, because now we have a really great platform to build on. We'll be coming back here to Toytec in about a month, where they're actually going to do the installation of the lift. But before then, there's a lot more we have to do with this truck. So stay tuned and come back for more Baby Yota as we actually take this old Toyota truck and make it into something very special.